heading up all the way to the top of the Malvern Hills. Today we are attempting the Malvern Hills end to end, a linear 9-mile hike. We've not done it before. We don't really know this area at all, so we're really excited to check this hike out. It's a tough start, a lot of hill climbing, but the locals promise us that the views at the top are well worth the effort. Being a linear hike, it always comes with a little bit of logistics and a little bit of organising. So if you were planning to do this hike, stick around. Later in the video I'll explain exactly how we organise pickups, drop-offs and the logistics of getting from A to B. But for now I'm going to focus on putting one foot in front of the other. Got a big climb and a heavy weight on the front, and looking forward to getting to the top of this hill. Oh, and a quick introduction in case you've not followed our channel before. I'm Bex. We're hiking today with the baby Shy. We've left our toddler at home. We haven't quite cracked doing such long distances with a toddler. And also here today with husband Gil.
Hi.
Transferring the baby. That's it, we've just reached the highest point of the walk, 425 metres. Worcestershire Beacon?
Worcestershire, like the sauce.
Worcestershire.
No, Worcestershire.
Anyway, that point, and yeah, it's very foggy, so we don't have the best view, but it's still really early, so we're optimistic that the clouds are going to lift, and later today we'll get some better views. This is now a good point to mention that the official way to do the walk is to start in the south and then walk north, so you would finish at this point. However, logistically, because we are continuing home after the hike and we're driving, it was a lot less driving to do it the other way, so we've started in the north. And the biggest difference is that you start with a much bigger climb. And from there on it's a lot more downhill, still lots of ups along the way, but generally a bit more of a decline now, whereas if you go the other way it's a very slow gradual up until you reach this point. The fog is starting to lift a little bit, the sunglasses have come on, the husband's got the drone out. It's nice to have some views. It is very pretty, it's very green, very lush. We've just reached the top of Pinnacle Hill, so another bit of a climb to get up here, but the sun's properly shining now and we're getting loads of lovely views, which is wonderful. We passed through a little village which is well worth marking on the map. If you put Lower Beacon Road car park and star that on whatever map you're using, there you'll find public toilets. There's also a cafe and a pub, so a perfect little pit stop if you need it.
It's a steep hill.
Especially with a dead weight. So navigation has mostly been okay, but there has been lots of incidences where there's been lots of different paths to take and they mostly lead in the same direction, but it's well worth having a map to hand, so we're using Commute and we've downloaded the route to our phone so that we can use that to navigate, and that's made it much easier. At the halfway point you'll find British Camp car park. This is an absolute perfect pit stop. Across the road from the car park is this fun little cafe that serves ice creams for humans and also for dogs if you've got a four-legged friend, and loads of very tempting cakes.
So we're stopping out for lunch. We walked more than halfway, which is a perfect time to stop for lunch. Normally, when we hike, we tend to walk most of the day past halfway point, and then we can relax and have a bit of a longer lunch. And then the end of the day is shorter before we get to the stop.
For lunch, we've got a squashed vegan sandwich from M&S and a squashed vegan wrap from M&S. Lovely. This also feels like a good point to talk about logistics and how exactly we plan this day, because being a linear route, it took a little bit more planning than if you're doing a loop. You can see from this elevation map just how much climbing is involved if you do the route northwards. It is possible to use 2 buses to get from the start to the end, but you'll need to account for about 2 hours and they really aren't very regular, so we opted for a taxi instead.
It's always a little bit of a risk when you book a taxi to the middle of nowhere and hoping that the taxi will show up.
Thankfully, the taxi did show. It cost just £30 and all ran really smoothly. We actually started our hike just south from the start point in Great Malvern just because I was with the baby and it meant I could wait in a coffee shop rather than by the side of the road. We can see the car. We've come to the end of the hike. Oh, that was a wonderful hike.
Yeah.
I'd say very wholesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Felt like it was the right level of challenging. My legs are definitely achy now. And yeah, I'm looking forward to sitting down and resting. But I feel really good for doing that hike. In terms of how strenuous it is, this is the first big hike I've done in 18 months. So I'm 3 months postpartum, and I wasn't able to be active during the pregnancy. So it's been a long time since I've been hiking, and my fitness is not at its best, and I managed absolutely fine. So as long as you've got baseline fitness, you'll be absolutely fine doing this hike. In total, that took us 5 hours, although I would say we stopped a couple of times to get some shots and use the drone and things like that. But I'd say 5 hours is probably about a good estimate for this walk. I would also add that I can definitely see how doing it from north to south would be easier. It was quite a long kind of downhill at the end, so I think if you're going the other way, that would feel like quite a slog to begin with. Obviously we had quite a steep start, but yeah, I think that slow long slog might be quite tiring if you're doing it the correct way and starting from the bottom and going up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. I'm going to drop a link below to a blog post that I've written with all the logistics laid out, with details of the taxi driver we use. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one.